that's okay. And let's start by giving thanks that we're alive, we're breathing, and here, it's page 61, Moda, or in the case of the female, Moda, Ani Lefanecha. Right at the top. Modeh ani lefanecha ruach chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha ruach chai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha modeh ani And continuing with Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani tefilati Lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berov chastecha Adini be'emet yishecha. Before my Maker I humbly bow and worship. May this be an auspicious time, Adonai, for my prayer. Your love, O God, is great. Answer me with your true deliverance. Page 63. And before we sing Elohai Neshama, O God, the soul breath that you gave me is pure, let's take a deep breath. Second paragraph. Elohai Neshama Hashem natata bi tehorahi. Elohai Neshama Hashem natata bi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shenata Tabi Tehora Tehorahi. You want to start an Al-Kamen? You want to try it? Think you can do it or not?
I always apologize. I apologize.
No problem. So that was nice together too. That's good. כל זמן שהנשמה וקיבי מודה אני לפניך אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותיי ריבון כל המעשים אדון כל הנשמות ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר נשמות לבקרים מתים. Page 65, morning blessings, and I'm feeling blessed that I was able to do my first bike ride this season to the synagogue. Every year it gets a little tougher that first one.
I don't know how to do it. I wish I could. And I used to ride a bike, and I know it's a really good.
It's a great exercise. Okay, let's chant the traditional ones as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech bibina lahavchin ben yom uvein layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani betzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten layarech korach. And on the English side, the last 6 lines. Strengthen our desire to do good deeds. Teach us humility that we may serve you. May we find grace, love, and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who look upon us this day and every day. Grant us a full measure of loving kindness. Praised are you, Adonai, who bestows loving kindness upon God's people, Israel. Page 83. And by the way, that loving kindness is not just for Jews, but for everybody. The next prayer talks about God creating the world, having compassion for the earth, compassion for creatures, all creatures, not even only human creatures, all creatures. So the loving kindness goes beyond just for the Jewish people, it's for everything. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hoseh Bereshit, Baruch Omer Ve'oseh, Baruch Gozer Umekayim, Baruch Mirachem al haaretz, Baruch Mirachem al habriot, Baruch Mishalem Sachar Tov Vire'av, Baruch Chayvad V'Kayam Lanetzach, Baruch Pohodeh Umatzil, Baruch Shema'o. Yachid Chayhalavim Melech Meshubach Lefawar Adayat Shemo Hagadol, Baruch Ata Adonai Melech Meruhal Batishpachot. Let's go to page 86, the beginning of the last paragraph. Hoshia et amecha uvarech et nachalatecha, Urei, 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 urei benase mad haolam, Hoshia et amecha et nachalatecha, Urei, Urei benase mad haolam, Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachalatecha, Urei benase mad haolam. And in the middle of 87, the single lines. Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Me'eshivana hafesh, Edut Adonai Nemana, Machkimat Peti, Pikudei Adonai Sharim, Pikudei Adonai Sharim, Pikudei Adonai Yesharim, Me'esamchelev, Mitzvat Adonai Para, Me'irat Einayim, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Torah, Omedet Ba'aretz, B'tei Adonai Emet Sanku Yachdav. Ay, 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 lay, 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 lay. Ay, lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, ya, la, lay, yay, lay, ya, la, lay, ya, la, 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 lay. Ya, lay, la, 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la la la
I ruined it.
No,
Sorry.
fine.
I was trying. My voice is actually kind of funny. I had a cough.
Ah,
I don't know.
well then.
I don't know.
Alrighty. How about page 94? Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. We can do the lyrical Tov, the Hodot order. Mizmor Shir. Got a preference? Or you want me to pick?
Pick. I don't
Okay,
know. I know that one. I've heard it before.
okay. We'll do Mizmor Shir. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot la'Adonai. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. V'hagid b'boker chaslecha. Ve'emunacha b'leilot. Alei asor va'aleina alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot la'Adonai. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. Ki simchtani Adonai befoalecha. B'maaseh yadecha aranein. Magalu ma'asecha Adonai. Ve'od amkum amshivotecha. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot Adonai. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. Uzamer l'shivcha elyon. Boker Tov.
I'm happy you are singing Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbat, because when I came, I thought maybe it's not Shabbat. It's serious.
Yeah. Page 100. In the middle. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 El Bekodsho, hallelujah, Birki Auzo, hallelujah, Biguratam, hallelujah, Kerov Kulo. Hallelujah, 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 b'tei kashafar, hallelujah, b'nevel b'chinor, hallelujah, b'tofu machor. Hallelujah, b'minim b'vugav. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. B'tziltzei shama, hallelujah, b'tziltzei trua, kol hanshama, tehalleluya, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Page 104. Yishmat kochai, tevarech et shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu. You stir the sleeping, give voice to the speechless, free the fettered, support the fallen, and raise those bowed down. You alone do we acknowledge. Page 104, the last paragraph together. Let's read it in English. From Egypt you redeemed us, from the house of bondage you delivered us. In famine you nourished us, in prosperity you sustained us. You rescued us from the sword, protected us from pestilence, and saved us from severe and lingering disease. To this day your compassion has sustained us, your kindness has not forsaken us. Never abandon us, Adonai, our God. Page 105, in the middle. Shochen ad maharom v'kadosh shemo. V'fi yesharim tithalal, u'divrei tzadikim titbarach, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תקדש, ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל. שכן חובת כל היצורים לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, להודות, להלל, לשבח, לפאר, לרומם, להדר, לברך, לעלה ולקדש, על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות, דוד בן ישי, עבדך ושיחך, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו. שיר שפחה נצח ברכות והודות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך גדול ותשבחות, אל ההודות הגדול הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, Melech Elchei Haolamim. Page 108. El Adon al kol ha'ma'asim baruch u'mevorach befi kol neshama v'tuvo male olam da'atu tuna so v'limoto ha'mikal chayot ha'kodesh v'nedar v'chavod al ha'merkava זכות ומישור לפני כיסו, חסד רחמים לפני כבודו, טובים באורו שברא אלוהינו יצרם, בדעת בבינה ובהשכל, כוח וגבורה נתן בהם, להיות מושלים בקרב תבל. Melein zivum fikim noga na'ezivam b'chol ha'olam semechim b'tzetam v'sasim b'moam osi b'eima ritzon kodam pe'er b'chavod notnim lishmot ha'la verina l'zechem achuto kara השמש ויזרח אור רעה והקים צורת הבנה שבח נותנים לו כל צבא מרום תפארת וגדולה צרפים ואופנים וחיות הקודש היי לה 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 אשר שבת מכל המעשים. Let's be together, top of 109. To God, who completed the work of creation on the seventh day and ascended God's glorious throne. God robed the day of rest in beauty, calling Shabbat a delight. God ceased all God's labors on Shabbat. That is its distinction. The seventh day itself hymns praise to God, a song for Shabbat. It is good to acclaim Adonai. תתברך משה שבח מעשה ידיך ועל מעורר שעשית יפארו חסרה. תתברך צורנו מלכנו וגואלנו בורא קדושים. יחד בכל דברים חיים ומלך עולם. 3.5 lines down. כולם אהובים, כולם ברורים, כולם גיבורים, וכולם עושים באימה וביראה רצון כל עם, וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושה ובטהרה, בשירה ובזמרה, ומברכים ומשבחים, מפארים ומעריצים ומקדישים וממליכים את שם האל המלך הגדול הגיבור והנורא קדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם או מלכות שמיים זה מזה ונונים רשות זה לזה להקדיש ליוצרם מנחת רוח בשפה ברורה ונימה קדושה כולם כאחד עונים ואומרים ביראה, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. נופלים חיות הקודש, ברעש גדול מנסים ומצרפים, לעומתם משבחים ואומרים, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ואל ברוך באמותיתנו, למלך החי וקיים. זמירות יאמרו ותשבחות ישמיעו, כי הוא לבדו פועל גבורות, עושה חדשות, בעל מלחמות, זורע צדקות, מצמיח ישועות, בורא רפואות, נורא תהילות, אדוני נפלאות, המחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד, מעשה בראשית, כאמור לעושה אורים גדולים, כי לעולם חסדו. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו, ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאור. So this week, I was walking home, and I happened to notice something going by the library, and I said it was the farmer's market. First of the season, yeah. So I went to the farmer's market. I wasn't planning to. This was totally, just spontaneous. And they had some flats already with vegetables, plants, some broccoli and some lettuce. I said, can you plant these already? And I said, yeah. So I said, all right. So I took like 5 little flats of stuff, broccoli, lettuce, kale. 2 different kinds of kale, 2 different kinds of lettuce. I went home, wasn't planning to do this, and I planted them.
Oh, this was planned. It was little plants.
Little plants, yeah, little plants, yeah. And then I realized this prayer, I like this prayer a lot for many reasons, but the one we just sang, but the 4th line in the middle talks about God is Zorea Tzedakot. God is planting, just like we plant little plants or seeds, God is planting Tzedakot, righteousness. And I love that image. God's like a big gardener out there. Planting little, just like we plant little things that we hope will grow. So God plants it that God hopes will grow. God doesn't control the whole process, but plants little seeds of hope, of tzedakah, of goodness, and then we have to help nurture it. I love the whole image, so I wanted to share that with you today. Plus, I was just excited about starting my garden so early.
And the rain helped.
Yeah.
Isn't there a prayer like the children learn in the children's reading books, Red Web or something? It's a blessing to it. Or there's something about planting inside us.
For sure.
Maybe, I don't know. I'll try to.
Okay, if you find it, let me see it. Yeah. So let's continue on 111. Yes.
When the tourist come, the plant tree in Israel, there is a blessing that we said. Or if you buy a tree in Israel, when you get a certificate, blessing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I pick up my certificate.
Good. All right, let's bring the poem, bring the certificate. We'll figure it out. Okay, great. That'd be nice. Page 111. Ahava Rabba Haftanu Adonai Eloheinu גדולה ויתרה, חממת עלינו. אבינו מלכנו, בעבור אבותינו, שפתחו בך, אבינו מלכנו. ותלמדן חוקי חיים, כן תחננו תלמדנו, אבינו האב הרחמן, המלכים עלינו. ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל לשמור ולעשות. וקיים בכל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה, והאר עינינו בתורתך, ותהבק בנו במצוותיך, ויחל לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. ולא נבוש לעולם ועד, ולא נבוש לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה, ובנו בחרת עם כל המלשון, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול סלע. להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו טפטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Adonai Elohechem. לדור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים וחיסון נכון ומלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיים ודבריו חיים וקיימים נאמנים ונחמדים לעולמי עולמים. That's 4 lines, 113. Emet she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Malkeinu Melech Avoteinu Go'aleinu Go'el Avoteinu Yotzreinu Tzur Yeshuateinu Podeinu Umatzileinu Me'olam Shemecha Ein Elohim Zulatecha Ezrat Avoteinu Atahu Me'olam. Continue at the end of the first paragraph, and then we'll go right into the Amidah, silently from page 150b on. Tehilol Elyon Baruch Hu Umarach Moshe U'Yisrael L'cha'anu Shira B'simcha Rabba V'yamru Chulam Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Nohora Tehilot Sefer Shira Chadasha Shibchu Ge'ulim Mishimcha Sfat Hayam Yachad Kalam Hodu V'Himlichu V'Amru Adonai Imoch Le'olam Va'ed Tzur Yisrael Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael Uvtechinu Mecha Yehuda Be'Yisrael Aleinu Adonai Tzva'ot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch Adonai Ka'al Yisrael. Let's take a look at the Torah reading. Say, how about that? What an idea. What?
What is parasha?
The parasha is Acharei Mot.
It's not like Israel.
And I'd like to look at one particular section of it.
I think we know what page it's on.
I
We need to see.
As I say in Israel. It's right a second. Let's go to page 688. Middle of the thing.
I just. Israel is already Jewish.
There, that's working.
No, I thought.
Yeah, right, yeah. Okay, so let's, if we could read the first 5 sentences of chapter 18. Would someone like to do that?
I reform. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, I, the Lord, am your God. You shall not copy the practices of the land of Egypt where you dwelt, or of the land of Canaan to which I am taking you, nor shall you follow their laws. My rules alone shall you observe and faithfully follow my laws. I, the Lord, am your God. You shall keep my laws and my rules, by the pursuit of which man shall live. I am the Lord."
Thank you very much. Okay, so what do we make out of the third verse? You shall not copy the practices of the land of Egypt where you dwelt, or of the land of Canaan to which I'm taking you. Nor shall you follow the rules. Pretty clear. Where you been? In Egypt. That's the past, and that was a different society, and I don't want you to be like the Egyptians. And where are you going? Canaan. That's also a different society. And you're neither Egyptians, you're not Canaanites, you're Israelites. Be yourselves. You can be in different situations all around the world. You can be in different cultures and around different cultures. But don't lose yourself in those places. So that's one thing. Don't just because someone else around you is acting in some way doesn't mean you have to follow.
They still don't know who they are. Just came out from Egypt. What they know, they don't know anything different. And suddenly say that you will be yourself.
Well, what? They've got the 10 Commandments already? Right.
So, you think that it's already said.
They can be.
Well, but maybe that's in part why God is also saying that, you know. as you're forming your identity, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, form your own, I agree with you, they're not fully formed. But still, God's saying,
No, it's
It's
bothered me
special,
all the time that we keep reading that they say, well, you know, it's bothered me all the time. The people don't know who they are.
yeah.
But just like we said in Passover, they managed to keep the traditions, word of mouth, and they know that they're Jewish.
Yeah.
And they sacrifice, they live their lives, and, you know, there's more to be learned, but they've learned something, and they're carrying it on through the generations.
But, and they are, and this is a identity formation time. Remember, not so long ago, they said, oh, let's go back to Egypt. There was good food in Egypt, there was, you know, so they're, yes, they have who they are, and it's a valuable thing, but they're still learning that. So that's why God's reminding them. You know, you don't have to be like Egypt. You don't have to be.
Before or after the golden calf?
This is,
After the golden calf.
it's after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they obviously resent, yeah, of course. Obviously they resented afterwards.
So one could also use this, like,
This is the time that when I'm small group.
but I also found something else in this Torah portion, not far from here, that sort of balances, because one could start to think, well, therefore, Egyptians, they're all no good. Canaanites, they're all no good. We're the only good folks in the world. One could start to jump to that. So, I want to share with you a little commentary on verse 5. So first let's look what verse 5 says. Now, I'm going to do the Hebrew. Ushmartem et chukotai ve'mishpatai, and you shall keep, you shall observe my laws, my judgments, asher ya'aseh otam ha'adam, that a person should do, v'chai bahem, ani adonai. That's what it says. Okay. So, I must say there's some pretty clever people in our tradition. This seems very clear, right, on the surface. This is what you should do. Follow my laws. But the rabbis, in the commentary on Vayikra called Sifrei, said, it doesn't say, Asher Yaseh Otam Yehudi V'chai B'hem. It doesn't say that a Jew should follow these and live by them. It says, Asher Yaseh Otam Ha'adam V'chai B'hem. Ha'adam is a more universal term. Adam is like Adam in the Garden of Eden. Adam is the first human. That's the first, so that a human should follow these and can find life in them. Live with them. So the Sifrei says, which is kind of really pretty amazing because sometimes we are like, don't be like the Canaanites, don't be like the Egyptians. But here the Sifrei says, this passage speaks not of Kohanim, the Levi'im, and Yisraelim. This passage doesn't speak about the Kohanim should do this, the Levites should do it, the Israelites should do it. It says Adam. Asher Ya'aseh Otam Adam, that a human, a person should do it. From this you may learn that a non-Jew who observes the Torah, finish the phrase, is a good person. You can't do this, right? But the rabbi said that a non-Jew who observes the Torah is equal to the high priest.
Wow.
Wow! Right! I mean, I read that. I said, whoa! Whoa! It really knocked my socks off. I didn't expect to see that. So it's saying that these are good commandments. These are good laws. These are righteous things. And you don't have to be a Jew to be a righteous person. You have to live a certain way, but you don't have to be a Jew to be a righteous person. And anyone who follows these is just as good as a Kohen. You don't have to buy it, but this is it's from a traditional. I didn't make this up. This isn't kumbaya, whatever. This is the legitimate.
I have
Traditions.
absolutely.
Okay, so that's one of the things I want to share with you this morning. Both the tension of be ourselves, we don't have to be like everybody else, but also acknowledging that other people can, depending on how they act, can be just as good as the best of us. Okay,
There's
these
a
are-
reason, first of all, just to answer, that in the Holocaust memorial in Israel, you have the righteous trees
yes,
for people that
absolutely.
you said Yehudi.
Yeah.
Isn't Yehudi came after Yehuda later
Yes.
on?
Yeah, it came out.
Because in this point, it still wasn't Yehudi.
Yeah, I just, yes, I didn't say Israeli or Israel. I could, yes.
Well, that answers a question that I raised in troublemaker Hebrew school, which was, how could Gandhi not be, how could Gandhi not be, a good person? Because he's, or any such leader, it's the same God, it's the same everything, and how can we think we're so special? And you might be special, but shouldn't be excluding the person who's excluding us.
Exactly. You were in trouble with the Hebrew schools? No. How did that be?
Well, I played baseball on Saturday mornings most of the time.
Okay, so that's one thing. The tradition teases that. Let's look at another. We're on 689, verse 5, and on the same sentence, after it says, these are the commandments and the rules that a person should follow, v'chai b'hem, and live by them. So, one of the traditional understandings of this, I bet most of us have heard sometime along the way, was when they say and live by them, let's look at the commentary. Someone wants to read it on 689, verse 5. Please. Yeah.
By the pursuit of which men shall live. This important verse later became the basis for defining the limits of martyrdom.
That's Babylonian Talmud.
Oh, Babylonian.
Yeah.
Okay. Only in cases of murder, incest, adultery, or idolatry must a Jew give up his or her life rather than violate the commandments. In all other cases, one must violate the Torah to spare one's life in order to live by the Torah after.
Great. Someone want to take the next paragraph?
Maimonides gives the words a deeper meaning. The wicked are considered as dead, even in their lifetimes, because they are not fulfilling their innate mission to live by God's laws. They do not understand what it means to be truly alive. A 19th century Hasidic master understood the words homiletically to mean keep God's laws while you are young and vigorous. Do not wait to become pious when you are old and the urge to sin has fled.
So let's deal with the first one first. Because the rules are the chai, there's something to inform our lives that should be for life. If there happens to be an instance where there's a rule, but by keeping it to our death, except for a few notable exceptions, we're supposed to break the rule. What's the classic one?
Doctors treating patients on Shabbat.
Doctors treating patients on Shabbat. Not only may a doctor treat a patient for his life and death, the doctor must. What's another one? Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur. Fasting on Yom Kippur. If fasting is going to endanger our lives, we must. And there's there's some amazing, powerful stories called Hasidic Tales of the Holocaust. One of which talks about a rabbi in a concentration camp who, in front of everybody, of the Jews around him, said, we must eat, that he ate first. So they would see, because it meant life and death. So the moral laws are here for us to enhance our lives, not to extinguish our lives. And if it's a case of following a law, that's going to kill us. We don't, for that one instance, we don't do it so we can live to do more mitzvot. Very powerful.
The actual words of this comment, only in cases of murder, incest, adultery, or idolatry must a Jew give up his or her life.
Right.
Does that mean for, if someone's forcing you to observe an idol or something like that, you should be willing to die before that?
That's what this is saying,
That's
yes.
what you're saying.
Or if someone says, you better kill this person or I'm gonna kill you. Right? That's a case of murder, where someone's ordering you to kill someone or whatever. That's not, you don't do that to save your life. You don't take another life to save you. But the innocent life, that's totally different from war and stuff like that. That's just talking about murder. So yeah, so the first thing we see is this thing really talks about how the laws are here for us to live by.
I just want to tell a short story. It was just the Holocaust memorial in Israel, and it started with the siren, 1 minute siren.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see all the car, everyone stop, come out from the car, and in a Hasidic code, the long periods just keep walking. Like in the Holocaust, all the rabbis supposed to kill and cut the face and everything, like everyone. Hurt me so much that no one put their leg down and let them fall down, you know. And like, you look at them, what are you doing? It was and about the Chodesh Shabbat. It's going on war in Israel now. I don't know if you think. From Gaza already was 200 bunkers, so, yeah.
You're saying the Hasidic rabbis were not bothered during the.
What did bad?
No,
They
personally,
told me. They show you how they cut their pious, and they cut their.
I want to share, thank you. And it is amazing how most of Israel stands still during that silence.
It was 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes
The
of
two
silence.
But who's counting? But the other thing though, Andrea sent around, I don't know if other people got it, she sent around this video of an Israeli singing group. I hadn't heard of them before, that gathered together. I don't know if I can tell you the story. It's on 600 people. Holocaust survivors, their children, their children's children, and their children's
This
children's
generation.
children. They gathered 600 of them, who started with a Holocaust survivor and their families. There was in a room, they were sitting around in like a big circle around the center thing, and in the center was this group. And they taught them a song with Am Yisrael Chai. It was 600 people singing with little kids, and you saw the little kids next to their grandparents singing Am Yisrael Chai. And this is the song that Zeshi Rochelle Saba Shala Abba Be'achshavani. This is the song that grandparents sang, and that daddy sang, or mommy sang, and now I'm singing.
This was the rabbi.
That was an
When
incident.
they shot in the synagogue, this was he came on the table and screamed, Am Yisrael Chai.
Yeah. But this is the whole room. And
I don't see all this of Daisy because I see the Israeli television. And they took a lot of Holocaust and show all the spouse until everyone has like 36, so many people, unbelievable, because once they survive, they made children, and the children, and in Israel at all, give birth is a very big thing, so that's it. everyone had the whole hamula, we call it.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. And you think 6 million times 30, how many? It's unbelievable.
And certainly it's a time to think of the loss and the pain. It is, it's very, we have to. But I just felt that there's still a remnant, that I just love that they also did that. That those, like, I forget who said it, but someone said, you know, we have to be their song. We have to be their memory. We have to live for them since they grew up. And that's always something that's important to me, and that song just brought that up.
I will just quickly, they had, on NPR,
Talk about the election, so it can be.
they had on NPR this morning, Dr. Booth, who is retiring, or has already, and, she is, she's Jewish, and, so her family, lost people, directly. But she says, but I would like to say that Hitler is dead, and I have 4 beautiful friends who are alive and well, and that's
Nice.
what she's happy and has always been life.
Isn't Dr. Lucy doing it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's retired now. She used to be, when she first lived in Israel, she was a sniper.
Yeah, she was in,
In the army.
yeah. You're good, I thought.
And most likely the army made her to be a sex, Dr. Sex.
She's,
responsible for that.
I don't
It
know.
was there, you know, I think she person, I think it was 72, whatever. I tried to figure out his age. That when they took them from the village and he walked with his mother holding her leg, and she said, run away, save yourself. And you know, little boy, 7 or something, he doesn't want to leave the mother. And he was close to the forest and he ran into the forest. He lived in the forest by himself for 2 years, survived himself. So I'm so sad how he said, I never had him, and he cried, I cried. I never had the mother, the whole family, and such a thing, but he described these 2 years. Okay.
How could he? He's smart.
So, the Chayva, so these are for us to live by, these are us to affirm life by, and those more. We're looking on page 689, all the different things that the is teased out of 1 or 2 sentences. Another thing. On verse 4, it says, Et mishpatai ta'asu, you should follow my commandments. That chukotai tishmiru, and you shall observe my laws. And the sentence could have ended there, or just could have skipped the next 2 words and say, Ani Adonai Elohecha. Follow my laws, do my things, I'm the Lord your God. But they threw in the next 2 words, Lalechet bahem. So, of course, the rabbis, whenever they see a couple words that possibly could be slightly extra, jump in, and it's a great place to do a little midrash. So what do you think? Let's pretend you're a rabbi back in the day, and you looked at this phrase, and you saw those 2 extra words, I mean, really not, but I read it inside.
Which line, I'm sorry, which line?
Verse 4,
Verse
page 688, it straddles 688, 689.
Sorry.
My rules alone shall you observe and faithfully follow my laws. I am the Lord. The faith here they put faithfully follow, but really the Hebrew is lalechet, and you shall observe my laws to go by them. All right. So
Find them and you'll go back.
So what do you think? What do you think they? If you were to write a midrash on this sentence, What would you, of those words especially?
You're not just aware of the laws, you're actually living the life.
Beautiful, beautiful, exactly. It's not just, don't just do a rote following of my laws. Yeah, you can keep the laws, just like you can stop at stop signs and whatever. You know, they're all laws we follow, we do it. But this is saying do more than that. Melechet, that they should be your way of life, that you should really make them your way of going, really make them part of your inside, not just your outside following.
Was the word that, I don't know, maybe I'm getting kavanah?
Kavanah is certainly an appropriate word, yes.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about it like that way, because it's really something that you really have to really contemplate and have deep feeling and meaning toward what it is you're doing. So, because if you're really gonna be faithful to thine own self, be true. So that's,
And so there's certainly the sense of doing it with intention, right? Kavanah means intention with direction. I'd like to read you one other comment of Khatam Sofer, who was a famous commentator. He said, and I'll do the Hebrew translated because for me to say, Lo dai ha'isuk haragil b'Torah. V'hashigra b'shmirat hamitzvah. It's not enough just to do the regular business of keeping the Torah and the routine keeping of the mitzvot.
Shikra, it's a very strong word.
Yeah.
Routine. It's not.
Automatic, just doing it on automatic.
Not kavanah.
Yesh tzarich et tzorech b'chidush lahat ba'aliyah. There really is a need to do it with renewal, with enthusiasm, with burden of the heart, with enthusiasm, with uplift, so that this isn't just doing it, it's to have our full selves, our full beings in it. That's why it says, "Valechet bahem," to go by them. That's the phrase that was used here. Liel b'bchinat holech mimadrega l'madrega. We should be doing them from the aspect
Step up and up.
of moving, going, and not just going on a straight line, but going up rung by rung of the ladder to ever greater levels of spirituality, of holiness. To go up and up, to be, so that these, when we do these things, it's not just, oh, I get it done. It uplifts us. We do it with enthusiasm, with our heart, with our full being. Beautiful. So, lalachet bahem. To go by them, that's what the rabbis teased out of that. I think it's beautiful. And it's nice to see. Okay. You think we're done with this phrase? No. If you've got patience, I'll give you another one. Okay, so we're back to page 689.
That's if I look ahead though.
Verse 5, which we've already seen before. So now the rabbis are going to put comments in this. Keep my laws, that mishpatai, my rules, okay? Now we could skip the next several words. Keep my laws and keep my rules. Skip the next several words. B'chai b'hem, and live by them. I am the Lord your God. So of course the rabbis read in more than is there. I will admit frequently that's what we're trained to do. So why does Asher Ya'aseh Otam Ha'adam, that a person will make them. So the rabbi said, it's not only God's rules and God's laws that we're supposed to follow, but we're also supposed to follow those rules and laws, asher yaseh otam adam, that a human makes. In other words, this is what they cut that originally. In other words, we don't only follow the guy, ela gam et hachukim v'hamishpatim asher yaseh, but also the laws and the rulings that humans make, meaning Chachamenu Zichronam Libracha, our great scholars make. And that there's a thing in Judaism that's called doing a takana. A takana is an enactment that doesn't come from God. It comes from the human years of the generation.
Yeah.
The
The
scholars.
high call, the high call.
Yeah. So it's saying, the rabbis read into this, you follow me? It's by saying, don't only follow my laws, but also follow the laws that the humans are going to be the great scholars of your generation. Those are laws to follow too. Not only what I gave you on Sinai, but what future generations are going to say are also is the right way to live. Cool or not cool?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very
The law-abiding person.
It's to Trump.
What?
Send this to Trump. He's not
You should
the
send it to Trump.
Whatever. It doesn't say who it is, but clearly that there's a Judaism is an ongoing tradition, is what it's saying. That yes, we have all these leaders of the generation can also help make sure that we can live by and follow. All right, so look at all we got out of this. Want to summarize? People who are here first. What different things did we learn from these two sentences? This is a quiz.
No.
Well, 5 seconds.
Love should be working.
Studying.
We can study.
Studying
He
a lot.
wasn't here, he made it himself. He made it.
So we learned that a non-Jewish person who follows God's laws
Equal to the high priest.
is equal to the high priest. You don't have to be a Jew to be spiritually equal to the Jewish high priest if you follow his right way of acting. Shocking. We're not used to hearing a Jewish source say that, but that is a traditional Jewish source. Thank you, Steve. You remember. What else did we? Other commentaries. That we learned.
That we should respect the laws that were generated by people who were before.
There you go. Not only right. 3, the chai bahem, and you shall live by them. What did we learn about that?
Walk the walk, don't just talk the talk.
If you walk it with enthusiasm and whatever, it should be not just Steve, you're doing great today. You get a dog. All right. And what else? What else?
Got
Okay.
A+.
Yeah, and so do it with enthusiasm and the chai bahem.
And you live with it.
So do this so that you shall live. So if one of the laws, except in few extreme cases,
Don't break the laws, but if it's the same life or several other related things, it's okay. You can eat on holidays.
yeah,
You can save lives on the
to
Shabbat.
say, like, to live by, the laws are here to live by. So it's definitely okay, as you said, even more so. It's even incumbent upon us to break the law, as long as it's not in a certain few cases that are emigrated here. We should break the law so we can keep living. Things like a doctor taking care of a patient on Shabbat, or not fasting, or stopping fasting, and people are upset. All right, so there you go. There's a lot right there. There it is, in 2 sentences. That's why we study Torah, not only read it, because I'm not sure we would have discovered all those things. I'll tell you, I wouldn't have discovered all those things on my own if I had read the commentary on it and teased it out. Yes?
As a modern day rabbi, are you thinking of writing some midrash so future rabbis can refer to you?
I'm not sure I'm such a great midrasher. So, but,
But you got a nice compliment from that fellow who visited last week. Do you remember? Where he said you?
fellow who visited last week.
It was 40 years since he was practicing here in Rome, he said you.
Oh,
Jonathan,
Jonathan,
Jonathan. Yeah, what is it?
Well, he said Rabbi, who was years ago, was the one who taught him, he was a member here. And you remind me very much of the way you were sorry, you remember. Sure. You want
I wanted to have you say it.
You want someone else to say
It was switch.
Jonathan was.
Jonathan was
He said that
Jonathan Becker.
he was talking to him quietly when I was listening.
Jonathan Becker was here?
Jonathan Benson, that's
Oh, I went to Hebrew school with him.
Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
he
good
said
job.
he'll be back.
Oh, that's nice.
He's lapsed,
Huh?
but now he's found.
Oh,
He
okay.
said that
No, I went to Hebrew school with Jonathan. That was
I don't
Becker's
either.
You
jeans.
recognize.
That was Becker's jeans though, remember? Down on Main Street.
Oh.
Yeah, Jonathan Becker's family was the one that.
Oh,
owned
yeah,
it.
yes, Becker Jeans, yeah.
Kenny Becker's younger brother?
I'm not sure of his brothers, but I went to Hebrew school with him, but we used to go there and get pants.
I think Jonathan was Jonathan's your age.
Yes, I went to Hebrew school with Jonathan Becker.
He doesn't have any father.
Was he a good student?
Huh?
Was he a good student?
He's a
He's very smart.
Okay, so,
Genius.
so,
Absolutely, he's crazy.
Nitsa told a story about the Holocaust, and actually there was something I learned this week about the Holocaust that was very moving to me. And that is that, and just what I was saying before, that, you know, it's up to us to keep their songs alive, and it's up to us to keep their stories alive. And there is a woman whose mother, I guess when the woman was like 6 years old in the Holocaust, sent her off somewhere where she could be safe, and left her. It's the same thing, just like the story you told me, so that's what reminded me of it. So the woman never, she was so allowed to talk about her mother, her mother was not there anymore. And that woman wrote, when she grew up, she wrote a song about her experience of her mother and just that traumatic moment in her life and her yearning for her mother. And there's somebody in our community, actually we know her because she sang here one Shabbat Shirat Alicia Shmoy, who knew the daughter of the woman's daughter, right? Of the woman who grew up and wrote the song. And that daughter has shared that song with her. And so every year, for the last almost 20 years, on Yom HaShoah, Felicia sings.
She sings.
She sings that song. And this Felicia teaches at Landry Brinsford Academy, the day school, Northampton Jewish day school. So she taught all the kids that song, and they sang the song. And they're doing a documentary about the grandmother and the mother and
The generation.
and they shared that song. So also we can be their song. We can be their song. So it was so moving. It was beautiful.
My sister-in-law in Israel, that was married to my brother, that he died, she's a survivor from the Holocaust, that her parents gave her to a farmer family to keep her.
Yeah.
The mother got murdered and the father survived. And when you went to pick her up, it was a problem. Anyway, they organized few men and they stole her in the middle of the night.
Were sheltered in convents and churches. Sometimes they were treated like that. Sometimes they were basically sheltered, but then raised as non-Jews and not told they were Jews.
Yeah.
So, the rabbi, and I don't remember his name, would go around after the Holocaust to these places and try to find the Jewish children. And they wouldn't always tell them who was Jewish. So he would gather children around and he'd sing the Shema.
Oh, and see
And
who
if
sang
they
it.
started to cry, if they started to that, he knew who the Jewish kids were. Because their parents would have sung the Shema to them every night. And they would have, that would have been a memory they would have remembered.
I was going to mention, I know Shoshana saw this because she also served in Greenfield, and some people probably served in West Springfield, with Simon discussing the Bag of Marbles. There's a great movie in the Jewish Film Festival. We had two French boys who would cut loose by their family so that they could survive, and they survived, on their own. And then a family took in one of them and treated them as a different religion. They thought they were a different religion. And after the British came and freed the area, the people were very upset with the collaborators, and they thought that he was the collaborator, the one who took in this child. And the kid stood on top of the table and he said, "I'm Jewish." And the whole assumption was that he knew they were Jewish, and it was just a different scenario. And he saved.
They're like, they say it like,
What about the Marbles?
I heard about it, I didn't see it.
It's probably available.
Okay, well, good. These are important stories. And since Yom HaShoah was just this week, they're appropriate for God. And to remember B'chadar. Let's keep it alive. Did you want to say something, Phil? You look like you had a thought there. All right.
And twice, West Springfield, Simon was good. I heard it was very much.
Yeah, I knew what we'll say, yeah. It's good that you got a chance to do it.
So let us jump ahead to the Aleinu, page 183. 183, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'tei gdula v'yotzei b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo slamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo tzachel kahen, v'gor aleinu k'chol. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומשה בקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו וכהי מרומי הוא אלוהינו אינו הם אלוהינו אפס ולטוב ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום להשיבותו אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל והארץ מתחת עינו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד. This week, we recall,
Excuse me, before you do that,
yes,
can we mix things up a little bit and do Ein Eloheinu after Eloheinu?
sure we could. I realized I skipped, I was thinking of inviting Brielle to come up and do, I don't know a lot, but yes, we'll have to do it. Let's do Mona's Kaddish right now, then.
Okay.
We recall Ida Paul, Robert Sewer, Lillian Thorne, Abraham Adelson, Herman Sponser, Saul Firestone. Mourner's Kaddish, page
I think we should do
104.
this all stand up, you know, and then we'll
Those who are sure. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'amad Yibrach Yerusei, V'yamlich Malchusei, V'chayechon, V'yamechon, V'chayei V'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'bizman Kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Olmei Hayar. Yiparach, Yishabach, Yipa'ar, Yitraman, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalel, Yitalal, Shmei Kusha, Rechu. Le'elam Minkol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiran, Ya'aman, Yibru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chalim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yivru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'mamav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yivru Amen. So let's be seated, and there has been a request for Ein Eloheinu, so let us do that. Here we go, page 182.
Ein Eloheinu, Ein Kadomeinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mikadomeinu, Mikadomeinu, Mikamalkeinu, Mikamoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adoneinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shetiru, Avoteinu, Lefanecha, Et Ketorasam.
Joe?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Joe?
I'm very happy we achieved dominion in spite of all the competition today. So, I think we're getting into activities months now. Firstly, tomorrow at 3:00, at the Holyoke High School, Makela will be in concert with the flyers in the back, and now I've blanked on the name of the high school chorus, the Madrigal chorus. the high school madrigal chorus that they will be singing with on, at the high school beginning at 3:00. And that should be a really lovely, those are two wonderful choruses, and it should be really fun to see the two of them coming together. There are flyers outside, and there's also a flyer on the wall, and it's in the bulletin. On Thursday, next week on Thursday evening, we have our board meeting rather than Wednesday. The usual day is Wednesday. Next week, just especially that day, is going to be Thursday. So that's a special announcement. And next Shabbat, a week from today, the Fox family had called and asked if they could sponsor a kiddush for people who are not members of our congregation, but are members of their family, and they wanted to honor them in a very special way. It's Rhoda and Joseph Cohen, and they are Rhoda's celebrating her 90th birthday, and the two of them together are celebrating their 70th anniversary. So that very special kiddush will be here next Shabbat, sponsored by Andrea and her mother and several other cousins in honor of this couple. And apparently they have been here before and had jumped at the opportunity to want to come back. So that's a nice way to look at these things. Going into the next week, I know I usually don't go this far, but these are important events. On Wednesday, May 15th, the Holyoke Holocaust Remembrance will be at the Senior Center beginning at 6:45. That's Wednesday, the 15th. On Thursday, the 16th, is the Israel Bond Dinner at Chez Joseph beginning at 6 p.m. And our honorees are the Levins, Steve and Lois Levin, who quietly and sort of underneath things do so many wonderful things for our congregation. They are our honorees. They put on a lot of miles on their car, and so they are the honorees for this year. And there's been a series of incidents that have made Israel Bonds a little more difficult this year. And so we are sincerely asking that if you intend to attend this dinner, we really need to know within the next week or so in order to do this properly. There was an email that went out a while ago and a couple of days ago, and there will be another couple this coming week with a telephone number. So if you're getting hung up with the Evite, with the digital cyber way of responding to your invitation, there's just a phone number for you to call, and you can make your reservation and use your credit card. So they're trying to make it as simple as they can. It is a marvelous speaker this year, whose name I don't think I ever really knew, but he's a former ambassador, and he's supposed to be really, really good. So this is a good Israel Bond dinner to attend, both in terms of who's being honored and who's going to be speaking. So that's on Thursday, the 16th, and I urge everybody to come. Sunday, the 19th, Leslie and Newman is returning to Sons of Zion. She tells us one of her favorite places in the world. So come and welcome her to one of her favorite places in the world with the new book that she's just written that's getting rave reviews. Gittle's journey is actually is personal to her and her family. So I'm not going to say anything more about it except that it is a wonderful book, and she'll be talking about the book and also talking about her experience as a children's author. So she'll be tackling both sorts of things. And that's on Sunday, May 19th.
She'll have a short
Video.
video also with an interview with her aunt, or is it the child of her aunt? Well, but the person who was Gittel in the story.
In the
So she's
story.
gonna have a short interview that we'll see as well, so that it's really interesting.
Yeah,
It's
that,
very, very
that should be,
interesting. We all absolutely love the book, right?
that should be great, okay. And for anybody that needs a print copy of the newsletter, they are out on the table and downstairs. There are flyers for all the things that I have mentioned, except the Holocaust, that's not out yet. It is in the bulletin, but I don't have it printed yet. And I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom and turn to Adon Olam.
Adon Olam is on page 187.
Do it together.
Adon Olam Asher Hashem Allah B'Tzerem Kol Yitzir Yibra V'Einas Ma'V'Chesed Kol Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Azar Melech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Kippot HaKol Lema'ado Yiloch Torah Ve'hu Hayam Ve'hu Oven Ve'hu Yiyeh B'Tifara Ve'hu Yiyeh B'Tifara Ve'hu Echad B'Yein Sheni Le'am Shilo Le'havira V'li'reishi V'li'tachlit V'lo ha'oz V'ham Yisra V'lo ha'oz V'ham Yisra V'hu Eli V'chai Oeli V'tzur Hevli V'yetzorah V'hu Nisi Umanosli V'nat Kosi V'yom Ekra V'nat Kosi V'yom Ekra V'yado Aki Akiduchi V'yeti Sham V'yayira V'yimruchi V'yati Adonai V'Elohira Adonai V'Elohira. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shabbat.
There.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.
There, that's what a handshake is.
Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat.